0, 1. Let's get started.
Good evening, everyone, and we are now live on Teams for the Process Improvement SIG's membership engagement event focused on rebooting our membership here. Just 1 second. So my name is Mary Simmons. I am the Process Improvement SIG's Communications Director. In my role, I'm a strategic planning manager and I work for Collins Aerospace. Next, we will review the outline for tonight's membership event. You just met me, Mary. I presented the welcome. Next, we will hear from Korey Carter and Brian Jackson. They will provide you information about the PI SIG board overview. Later, Dr. Charles Davis will lead us through breakout sessions such that we can learn more about process improvement tools and how they can help us upskill in our current roles. Following, Dr. Antonia will lead us through zone breakout sessions. This will give you an opportunity to learn more about the different zones within the SIG and possibly give you an opportunity to consider volunteering. Be sure that you stay on till the end of the meeting. We will have some giveaways that Sabina and Tiffany will lead us through, as well as announcements. And then we will close the session with closing remarks and any final thoughts. A little logistics. Please be sure that you turn your cameras off and that you remain muted unless you are speaking. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to use the chat to engage with us. We have a strong process improvement executive board here. Later on during the breakout sessions, you will get to learn more about these different roles, about these different zones and how we all work together to provide you excellent programming. Next, I will turn it over to introduce Taylor Jacobs.
All right. Hello, NSBE family. Good evening. My name is Taylor Jacobs. This year, I serve as the NSBE Professionals Chair. Excited to see you all here, and I know this is going to be an exciting event. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Taylor. Next, you will hear from our PI SIG Director, Korey Carter.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Again, welcome, Taylor. Thank you for joining us with the Process Improvement SIG. We're happy to have you here tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us. We know you have a really busy schedule, but you made time out to join us, so we really appreciate it, and thank you for joining. Good evening, everyone. I'm Korey Carter, Process Improvement SIG Director. Also, in my day job, I'm an Associate Director of Process Compliance for a biotech company called Taconic Biosciences, based out of New York. I'm happy to serve this year as your 2024 through 2026 Process Improvement SIG Director. We're happy to have our membership with us today, and we will move forward and share a few things. I'll give you an overview of the SIG. And as we go into, on the slide, you can see our vision. We do like to start with our NSBE mission, which is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. In addition to that, we have a vision directly for our SIG, and you can see it here. The NSBE Process Improvement SIG will be a premier organization for development and application of continuous process improvement via its talents, tools, and expertise. And what that means is that everything that we do, we want to educate and continue to grow our membership and our talent base so that we can not only learn, but also apply all the tools of continuous improvement. And our goal to do that is through the events and activities that we put on. We also use those skills and expertise to serve the organization. And as you can see on the right side, that our mission is to build and support a network of process improvement SMEs that optimize, innovate, and increase robustness of process and industry and throughout the society. And as you will see that as you see some of the members on our team, as well as throughout the organization that also serve as a part of the process improvement SIG, we have experts and subject matter experts that have been doing and operating within roles that align with process improvement for years upon years of experience. So we're carrying out that mission, and we continue to drive that mission forward. Next slide, please. For the process improvement SIG, our goals for this year are to present programming that complement and enhances the membership career growth. We want to continue to carry out that mission and continue to grow our members, to look at key areas to support improvement within NSBE and our vital internal processes. We know that as an organization, it takes a lot for NSBE to move forward. And as we continue to grow and expand, there's a lot of effort that it takes to keep our processes going forward. And we're not a perfect organization, so we as a process improvement SIG like to exist to continue to support our organization internally. An organization that operates at 10,000 can't always, the processes that allow us to go at 10,000 don't always allow us to go at 20,000 and don't always allow us to go at 30,000. So we're constantly working to continuously improve the organization and support that effort. So as you can see, I'll continue sharing our goals. There's a poll that has come out. Please don't hesitate to jump in and represent your region where you think the most process improvement SIG members exist. So in addition to that, I'll continue with our goals and for the year. We're working to standardize our work documentation and development around signature process improvement programs. So what that means is, for all the events that we do that are key, you see that yearly, sometimes several times a year, we put on a yellow belt certification. We have several programs that we do throughout the year and on a yearly basis that we want to perfect those and continue to improve them so that they serve our membership the best. And last but not least, creating seamless execution of yearly programming. And that kind of goes in line with our not only our signature programming, but year round, we want to make sure that we're in tune with our membership and the events and activities that we do put on. They support our membership, but they also get executed seamlessly. So we have a lot of responses going up. Keep getting your responses in. We're going to share that information very shortly. So as a mid-year assessment, you can see that we've done 15 workshops. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw in, because the chat's kind of the poll is kind of right on top of my screen. So I'm going to go in there and let's just represent Region 3, where I currently live. So just as a overview of what we've done so far this year, we've conducted 15 out of 25 planned workshops. That includes certification, membership engagement, some soft skills and development. We've had professional development, and then we also have supported PCI and outreach activities. We had a Greenbelt project that was done by one of our very own, Dr. Davis, to address the convention planning process. We have 40 procedure database created for formalizing our process improvement SIG standard operations. And then we have 2024 through 2025 SIG programming with the events from June 2024 through May of 2025. We've already started our planning for the next year, and we're going to take feedback throughout this membership engagement activity to figure out what additional programming we could do to better support our membership. So we're always focused on making sure that the year-round programming that we're producing serves the membership. So we got a lot of people in here. I see a lot of excitement. I see 2 Hype. I see Powerhouse, Region 3. Now we have the information directly on the slide. As you can see, Region 5 is representing very well with the largest process improvement SIG membership. I'll go through. We have a lot on this slide. So I see hands clap. Kudos to Region 5. This gives you a bit of our membership demographics. As you can see, Region 1 through Region 6, the numbers for the membership are there. Additionally, we have, you can look at the work experience for the membership. A significant number of our members are collegiate, but at the professional level, we have membership that have over 16 years of experience. And when you look at the top 20 employers for the process improvement SIG, we have 71 members right in the Boeing company, followed by Lockheed, Raytheon, John Deere, Northrop Grumman. A lot of our top key sponsors, we have membership that support the SIG. On the right, you could see, and if you're a little bit new to NSBE or you're not, this hasn't been ingrained into your lifestyle. NSBE operates with 6 regions, with region 1 being the Northeast area of the United States, and as well as Eastern Canada. You have region 2, that is the Mid-Atlantic region, as well as Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Region 3 is the Southeast, as well as the Caribbean and South America. Region 4 is the Midwest, that also covers Central Canada, Central Africa, and East Africa. Region 5 is the Southwest, that covers the southwestern part of the United States, as well as Central America, Mexico, South Africa, and the Dominican Republic. And then you see Region 6 is the western part of the United States, which also includes West Canada, Baja, Mexico, Asia, Australia, and the South Pacific. We also have a few facts that you can see at the bottom of the slide. Region 5 has the most process improvement SIG members. You can see that breakdown there between collegiate, professional, and lifetime. The largest process improvement SIG chapters sit also within Region 5, University of Texas at Arlington, University of Houston, Prairie View A&M, Texas A&M, Kennesaw State University. And then the largest process improvement SIG chapters also falls to, it's spread out a little bit here, but we have NSBE Houston professionals in Region 5, Atlanta professionals in Region 3, NSBE Washington, D.C., that's Region 2, Dallas, Fort Worth, back to Region 5, and Chicago is the mother region. Kudos and thank you for all your support and continuing to engage with the process improvement SIG. So we have another poll that has joined up on the screen. Which of our process improvement SIG goals resonates with you personally? Please don't hesitate to select one. We'll give you a few moments to fill in that poll. And once we get a few more submissions, it will be shared. You can see it in the chat. As those results are coming in, I'll give it another moment, and then I'll share what resonates the most in the order. Give it just a few more moments. "19 responses so far. We'll give it just another 30 seconds. Thank you for taking the time to fill in our polls. And they are confidential, just so you know. I can't see who's selecting what. So based on the 24 responses that we do have, 50% goes to number 1, programming to complement and enhance membership career growth, followed by key areas to support improvement in NSBE vital internal processes, and then standardized work documentation development around signature process improvement SIG programs, and then creating seamless execution of yearly programming. So based on those responses, we'll continue to support. If you have a couple minutes and you haven't filled out the survey, please don't hesitate to add. And we will go to the next slide. I'll be turning it over to Bryant, where he'll give us an overview of our process improvement SIG events for the year.
All right, so it's nice to have the time to speak to you all. So I'll be recapping PI SIG events that have happened in the past. You can go to the next slide, Mary. All right, so PI SIG puts on different types of events. So one of the first ones is we like to spotlight and highlight our members. So we typically would do member spotlight. So we've done just recently the Shining the Torch on Quality with George Smith, where we had 40 people there. We actually had the CEO of Chevron Phillips on. We had 41 people there back in April of 22. Then we had Camila Majid and Dr. James Ogundelli from Corning back in February of 2001, when we were actually just doing the videos and sending them out to you. And then one of the highest attended ones we had with Toni Trim, the ITTT Special Interest Group SIG director, and we had 113 people on there with a 5.0 out of 5 feedback on that session that he did on leveraging IoT sensors and creating insightful dashboards. So we can go to the next slide. So in addition to spotlights, we also do these events that we have tonight. So membership engagement events. So we started our first one back with Diamond and Nwanko when we did our welcome party back in 2020 of August, where we had 150 people come out to a Zoom session that we had, and pretty good feedback there. We kicked this year off with our kickoff event back in July, where we had 49 people show up to that one. And then back in 2021, we had our in-process mixer where we had 135 people come out. And then the coup de grace, the event that we had the most people to attend, was our 10-year anniversary, because the SIG was started in 2011. So we did our 10-year anniversary back in July of 2021, where we had 286 people to come out to that event. It was well received and well attended. Mary, slide on to the next slide. So we also feel that along with technical skills, soft skills are very important for individuals to have inside the organization. So Diamond did a workshop at the Region 4 and Region 5 FRC, where she had 10 people when she did storytelling the data. Aguna Njoku, one of our past SIG leaders, did a workshop just at PDC, where we had 75 people in the room, standing room only, back in August during PDC. And then Toni Trim and Chris Sanson have always been on the road doing the Who Moved My Cheese workshops all the way through Region 5 and also at national events. And they basically had 27 people to show up to the NSBE 49 event. And then myself, along with Oguna Njoku, just did a LinkedIn Live event with 75 people there on unwritten rules of corporate America. All right, next slide. I think that's the cultural event. So one of the events that we've baseline with and done every year over the past couple of years with the IEEE organization is STEM Innovators. So we've done it for Hispanic Heritage Month. Back in October, we partnered with Eaton and their employee resource groups to do an event where we had 37 people to show up to that one. We did our Black History Month with them also back in February of 2021, where we had 155 people to attend there. And then we did one event with SWE and WISE back in 2021, where we had 35 people attend our Women's History Month. And last but not least, I think this was in 2023, we had our LinkedIn Live event, Her Story, which you can still catch on our LinkedIn page if you look at some of our past events. And that was a collaboration with the Eden Wave and their iConnect ERGs, and we had 40 people to attend that event. So a lot of work that we've done around cultural awareness. And then also we kind of known for our ability to provide technical training with our subject matter experts. So Georgia Harrison and the group did project management professionals training for the New York City chapter and the LA chapter. Did those events in collaboration with them, where we had one event with Excel that had 50 people to attend that one. We also hosted our Greenbelt program, where we had 25 people initially sign up, 13 to go through the program, and 5 to actually complete the program, where we actually got 5 people to receive their Greenbelts throughout our group. And then we just did, during FRC season, a Six Sigma Yellow Belt certification, where we had 15 recipients of their yellow belts. And then one of the largest yellow belt class we had was back in doing Convention 47, where we had 119 people actually to go through the training. 170 signed up, 119 actually complete and finish their certification to get their actual yellow belts. Next slide. And then last but not least, one of the last ones, we do in-person training. So Christopher Sanderson participated in NSBE 49 and did training on the 7 basic quality tools during the workshop there. We have a staple that we've done over the years, which is our practical process improvement panel, where we try to talk about real world applications of process improvement. And we had 132 people to attend that event. We had our Greenbelt Symposium at PDC, where we had 10 people to attend that event. And then Perry conducted the event at the Region 2 FRC back in 2022, where we had 117 people to actually attend the actual intro to Lean Six Sigma. And I think our last set of different events, PCI outreach and engagement, and that's a lot of stuff that we do in conjunction with IEEE. So we had just recently the Houston Professionals collaboration for Fresh Start, where Chris Sanderson on behalf of the PI SIG participated in their event and basically did 5 different working sections where they did Who Moved My Cheese and IEEE event program called Mission to Mars. Our own Toni, Antonia McFarland, Arnold-McFarland basically led and created this outreach opportunity for the data science bootcamp that they completed back in 2022, which was able to enrich the lives of 31 PCI students. And then we have the engineering in the real world program that Christopher does, where they did a Who Moved My Cheese and the engineering panel with 50 attendees at that event. And then back in 2022, part of the Fresh Start program, similar to the one that just happened, we participated in that one, where we had 120 attendees at our Who Moved My Cheese workshop there. So a lot of work has been done over the years in a lot of different areas. So if you find something that you feel like fits things that you would like to see, I think it'd be interesting to find if everyone can find a place where this organization fits home to them. So there's a poll that just hit the chat around what type of events would you like to see the SIG offer. We would like to take that feedback in, so as we get ready to start planning for the next year, we can actually take your feedback into consideration. So I think that's all I have, and I will hand it over to you can go to the next slide. And I'll hand it over to Dr. Davis to start talking about the PI SIG bootcamp, tools.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I am Dr. Charles Davis, the PI SIG Technical Director. My daytime job, I am Associate Professor of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And good evening, everyone. Today, what I'd like to do is dive into our crucial topic of process improvement. A continuous journey to identify efficiencies within an operation. We want to look at analyzing these systematically, implementing them, and targeting changes to streamline our workflows. Ultimately, what we want to do is achieve greater efficiency, productivity, and quality across our organizations. This isn't just about fixing a problem. It's about fostering a quality across our organization. A continuous learning optimization where every team member is empowered to seek better ways of working. We'll explore key methodologies like Lean Six Sigma, examining how to measure performance, pinpoint areas of improvement, and also develop actionable plans to drive positive results. Our approach with the benefits is for both employees and employers by preparing them for what's ahead and empowering them with the skills they need to achieve business goals. With an upscaling framework in place, organizations can guide workers and encourage them to take an active role in their career and progression in development. The benefits of upscaling with process improvement tools can ensure that you remain relevant in your field, making you an indispensable asset to your current and future employers. Not only providing the precision and accuracy of your work, but also validating it by presenting it with both facts and clarity. Process improvement tools, next slide, are key examples to include flowcharts, outlining crucial points, lagging metrics revealing how customers feel and react, and how they experience processes, such as root cause analysis, that is overseeing and discovering problems, or an unexpected event where a process can be implemented to eliminate the symptom. FMEA, a tool to capture and determine potential failures, risks, and causes. 8, waste, applying lean thought processes to remove unnecessary waste, which does not add value to the customer. Also, other values, basically tools that we can look at are process mapping, value stream mapping, SIPOC, fishbone diagrams, Ishikawa diagrams, Kanban boards, Six Sigma methodologies, including DMAIC, statistical process control, Gemba walks, automation software. All these are visualized processes identifying bottlenecks, analyzing root causes, and implementing continuous improvement to streamline operations and increase efficiency. Next slide. So let's embark on this journey together, where we can collectively elevate our standards, achieve our full potential, and then also focus on igniting a discussion about identifying inefficiencies within existing workflows, look at brainstorming our solutions, and actively implementing changes to optimize operations, emphasizing the collective power of our team to drive positive change and achieve measurable results within the organization. Next slide. And now I will turn it back to our fearless leader, Korey Carter.
So we have 2 breakout sessions, and we people, all the attendees, to select which breakout section they would like to attend. And we will now be breaking the team up into individual breakout sessions. If you do not have a breakout session, you could put a note in the chat and we will get you into a breakout session.
0, 1. Let's get started.
Again, my name is Ron Baker. I am the PI SIG Administrative Coordinator. It simply means I help a lot of the behind the scenes activities to help keep the SIG moving along smoothly for all of the supporting as leaders, if you will. I'm a lean transformation practitioner. I have a mechanical engineering degree, about 25 years of experience in the industry and in world of consulting, companies such as Johnson & Johnson, Motorola, Home Depot, Accenture, Deloitte, Bank of America, or a few of the companies I've worked for in the past. During this session, we are going to cover 3 topics or 3 tools in the area of business optimization. I'm going to show a short video, which is about 40 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds as well. And after that, we're going to get into some of the downloading of information.
Lean manufacturing is a deliberately simple way of thinking about customer value and how your operations can build that value in the most efficient way possible. Lean asks you to think of your manufacturing operations as a value stream that flows products to your customer. Some of your activities add value, others just add waste. Value is anything that your customer will pay for. Waste is anything that adds cost your customer would not pay for. This can be overproduction of finished goods or work in process, excess transport and handling, scrap and rework, or wasted time while people and goods wait for things to happen. As you work to drive out waste and flow your product more quickly through the value stream, your operation becomes less costly and more responsive to customer demand.
Okay, great. Did you all see the video and hear it?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think I got the right one. You can still, sorry about that. Can you still see my screen? What do you see now on the screen?
We see your slides in presenter mode. So like we see like the 2 slides next to each other.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry about that. What do you see now? Just a single?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, great. All right. So that video that you just saw is a simple overview, if you will, of ultimately what goal of business optimization is. It's about enhancing the value or reducing what we call non-value add activities when you produce a product and or a service. It'll show the manufacturing flow, but that could be easily a transactional flow, such as banking or in like a retail place when you like a Home Depot or and such as things of that nature. So one of the things that we like to do in the world of optimizing the process is to reduce wasteful practices. You'll see on this slide here, there are 3 Japanese words, but underneath them is the English translation. There's something called overburden, something called unevenness, and simply the word waste. And you might have seen these terms before in books or articles or things you might have just heard of. The most common one people resonate with is muda, which is waste. And we're going to go through that in a little detail. But I want you to be aware that overburden is an issue and unevenness is an issue. These 2 can lead to muda. And I have some descriptions on here, some definitions, operational definitions of each of these 3 types of wasteful practices. But fundamentally, overburden is simply you're overburdening your resources. Resources is simply could be people and or equipment, right? So when you over stress either of those, it creates an opportunity for something to break down. It creates fatigue in people unnecessarily. Fundamentally, that's what overburden is about. Unevenness is simply casting unevenness throughout the workflow. So for example, in a 5-day work week, if you front load your work orders on Monday and then on Thursday and Friday, you have very little work orders. Think about a roller coaster. You got ups and downs. So you cause people to work extra harder, if you will, potentially on Monday to get the work orders out. But then on Thursday and Friday, they're kind of coasting along or twiddling their thumbs, if you will, trying to get work. That's unevenness. You want things to be as smooth as possible. Now, we know that emergencies happen. Sometimes something gets thrown out to the floor operations. Hey, with this emergency thing we got to do, could you please do it immediately? Interrupt the normal flow. So that happens sometimes, but a lot of companies don't have processes how to introduce special work or emergency work into the BAU or the business as usual work activities. Now, this last one down here is muda, right? Is just waste. And that's simply looking at all your processes that you do or activities. They're typically classified into 2 categories. There's non-value add activities and value add. Value add, we like to say, are things that the customer is willing to pay for, but essentially that means that activities that are not wasteful as you convert raw materials into a product and or a service. Let's flip to the next slide here. As I said, we're going to drill down on muda. And one of the cool things is that this acronym at the top here, you see the word down and time. If you remember that word downtime, you will know the letters or the words that relate to the 8 wastes. Some books you will see have 7 wastes sometimes, but there's really 8, and a lot of books adopt 8. The eighth one, I should say, is this underutilization of talent down here. I'm not going to go through these in detail, but I want to give you an understanding and introduction to terminology and whatnot. The more common one is defects. So if you think about defects, that's really when you produce a product that's not meeting the specification and it has to be reworked or redone. But oftentimes people think of defects as simply the end product that the end customer sees. But also defects can be, let's say a work order gets introduced to the manufacturing floor or operations, and say that work order is missing some key information, and it's got to go back upstream to a stakeholder group, such as order entry team or sales team, to add more information so that the work order can be properly executed. That is essence is a defect. It's an internal metric you would track to understand the quality of the work as it's flowing through your operations. Another one is key is overproduction. Oftentimes people will just produce product just because they got the material to produce it. Even though it's more than what was needed, what was requested, they will overproduce. And folks think it's a good thing sometimes. 99% of the time it's bad. There are some rare occasions where this is acceptable. That rare case could be, let's say you have raw material that's going to expire if you don't consume it or convert it. So those are rare cases. You will want to convert that raw material into a product. But to overcome that in the future, you try to have almost just-in-time operations, such that you only purchase products, raw materials, enough to meet the demand of the customer. The other one is waiting. When you think about equipment, when equipment is not running, it's waiting. That's down. That's wasteful activity. Another key aspect is you're processing paperwork and is waiting on the next operation downstream to receive it or do something to it. That's bad. It's waiting. Some people place product next to a machine on the floor. That product is sitting there waiting. If it's not being worked on, that's wasteful. So I just want to touch on those 2 or 3 under the 8 waste. You will get a copy of this presentation as well at the end of the meeting and session, so you have access to do it as well. My contact information is at the end of this, so you have every opportunity to reach out to me to learn more about these. And again, today is just meant to whet your appetite and calibrate your mind to some terminology. This slide simply talks to the money or the financials around those 8 wastes. Oftentimes, operation leaders will say, well, what's the benefit of doing this? Why do you want to reduce defects? Why do you want to reduce waiting? These are things that the financial community, the CFO or your plant controller, he or she, these terms will resonate with that person such that they will go to the financials and make adjustments according to this. There's a term called cost of goods sold. This favorably impacts your cost of goods sold if you can minimize and or reduce these 8 wastes.
Let's get started.
Let's go ahead. I'm Ezekiel Allen. I am a computer engineering junior from Virginia State University, along with me being a part of Region 2 of NSBE. And my question was, during the problem-solving tools, Fishbone. I know we was going over Fishbone, and I know we had 2 left to go over. And I had looked at some on my own time, do a little bit of research, and I just want to ask for him personally, or any of y'all, anyone else can join in. Which one would be more effective to you?
That's a good question.
Welcome aboard. Thank you for your question. I would say that a lot of organizations use a 5Y. They use it as I'm gonna call it they'll use it as, I'm gonna call it a butter knife because it's the easiest to use. Oftentimes people go to it when you ask the question 5 times why, and each time you go deeper into what caused the problem, and when you run out of whys, you've reached your root cause. Sometimes people incorrectly use it to kind of manipulate it to work for them, but that's a deeper conversation. I consider a Fishbone to be closer to more like a Swiss Army knife. It can work in a lot of different applications, whether in a lot of different industries. Sometimes industry specific people prefer to go to different ways, but I think a Fishbone is a good all around root cause analysis tool that you can use. There are some scenarios where you need to go into more in-depth tools like a fault tree. We would not go through a fault tree with the time we have in this meeting, or even a process familiar, which is failure modes effect analysis. Those are very specific, but I would consider the Fishbone to be your good all around tool that will work in a lot of different cases. And oftentimes I'll push people, if it's not an issue if it's an issue that's recurring, I'll push people into a Fishbone as opposed to a 5Y, because if it keeps recurring and you think you had, oftentimes you didn't go deep enough. So a fishbone kind of forces you to look at multiple areas to go deeper to see if you found the possible causes, or there may be multiple causes.
Let me add something to that answer, because the question that you ask, which tool do we consider to be most effective? If you have a toolbox at home that has like a hammer, a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a socket wrench, and you ask the question, which one is more effective? The answer is going to be, it depends on what it is that you're working on. So the way to look at the various tools in the process improvement toolkit is that which one is more effective, it really is application specific, and sometimes you use the tools together. So it's difficult to answer that question with one answer, but the key is we provide knowledge in an extensive spectrum of tools, and also provide guidance as to which tools work best for which types of problems. And then you can decide for yourself, for your given situation, which tool is going to be most effective.
0, 1. Let's get started. 0.
Once you've mastered the tools, and every single year more tools come out, and now we're getting into AI and even more types of optimization. From my perspective, it's not the tool that makes the change happen. It's the culture. Because if you have a toxic culture and you try to implement any of these process improvement tools, whether it be TQM, and I call them flavor of the month, balanced scorecards, TQM, ISO 9000, Lean Six Sigma, benchmarking, process optimization. Every year, I mean, I've been, I was back in the day where TQM and Six Sigma came out and there were no belts. So as I've seen the tools come out every single year, more and more tools, and now you got Scrum and OKRs and all this other stuff. It's not the tools that is going to make these organizations change. It's the culture. And I don't see too many people talking about bad bosses and bad leadership and toxic culture and the mental and psychological safety and the environment in which these tools can thrive. Because you can apply a tool and you'll get some success. But if you haven't changed that culture, that person's leaving. Those people are leaving, and you're not going to be. The change won't be sustainable. So that's just my 2 cents. I do a workshop on culture versus strategy, or culture will eat strategy for breakfast, and it has been the amount of people that come up to me afterwards like, oh my God, you really get it. I'll leave it at that.
I was just going to continue on to kind of add to the culture component and the changing the culture so the tools can thrive. Something that I've also noticed, I've been working in Six Sigma probably for, I'll say since 2007. I'm an ASQ black belt, and I worked for 7 years as a master black belt. And now companies are evolving in including more agile.
Hey guys, how's it going? Love what you guys been doing over the years. I'm a silent fan because I always like content. And I think one key low-hanging fruit could definitely be a PDU series, virtual PDU series, and having people who are currently in the project space, whether it's Scrum or just need professional development units or career units that could be easily accessed remotely or accessed virtually. I think the more content we provide and then more content we sell at a discount or just as a nonprofit could benefit both the organization and our members. And also keep reminding our members that this is a service for members, so members should remind them to pay their membership dues, because that's what helps also funding the groups, the SIGs, and helping to help increase our membership and increase our programming. So I think that would be a good low-hanging fruit element.
No, that's a good one, Kwame, because we've done some PDU stuff, and basically, like with some of the workshops we do, we offer PDU units and capture that information so we can have it on record. If some different body wants to come back and ask about different credentials on some of the sessions that we've done. So, no, I think that's a good one.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed learning about some of the process improvement tools. At this time, I would just like to do a brief recap for those who may have joined the meeting after we made our initial introductions. So one, we had our director, Korey Carter, review the vision and goals and mission for the PI SIG. Following, we had our advisor, Brian Jackson, highlight the different type of events we have presented within the SIG. Those include membership spotlights, engagement events such as the event that you are in now, as well as workshops to help to build your soft skills. Other events that we've had include cultural events. So we like to engage and recognize Black History Month, Women's History Month, and Hispanic Heritage Month. There are technical trainings. This is a great opportunity to actually obtain certifications, such as the Yellow Belt training and Green Belt training. There have been in-person workshops at NSBE Convention as well as PDC, where you get to engage in person and accumulate training hours related to process improvement in Six Sigma. And then we also have outreach, where we partner with chapters and actually engage with the youth to help them to learn about process improvement. If you just joined recently, we just came out of our process improvement tools breakout sessions. This was an opportunity for members to take a deeper dive into some of the different process improvement tools, as well as ask questions. Now, one thing, as we transition to the last portion of our event, we will have zone breakouts coming up shortly. We will also have other announcements, but most importantly, there will be some cash giveaways. So I want to encourage everyone to stay on to participate in that. And you must be present in order to receive the award. Also, there will be a survey, and we would like your feedback on the event. And in that survey, you will also be able to identify any particular zones you may be interested in volunteering for. At this time, I will turn it over to our Deputy Director, Dr. Antonia Arnold-McFarland.
Thank you, Mary, for that transition. And it's okay to call me Toni, Dr. Toni. If you want to call me Billionaire, I will answer to that as well. I am a quality manager for the business operating systems at John Deere. I have been there. It will be 27 years in a few weeks. And you can go ahead on to the next slide. We're going to talk about the zones. Zones are actually operationalize the PI SIG. What I mean by that, that is actually is in place. That's a structure that makes things happen. We have the leaders here of these zones, and I'll just quickly talk about them. But basically, this is how we get things done. We have the admin zone that Korey and myself lead, and we also have just added a coordinator, Ron Baker, to help us administer, have the vision, set the direction, and just make sure that we are able to operationalize and align organizationally, as well as make sure we're linked. We will, our plan is to go into some breakout rooms here shortly on these zones. But as you just saw, we did have a few technical difficulties, but as engineers, we're going to work through that. We know how to use the process improvement tools. We already had talked about the FMEAs a little bit as that was happening. And the next zone I'm going to talk about just briefly is the finance zone. Marta and Melissa, I don't think Melissa's on tonight, but Marta's going to be here to just kind of give you more depth in information about that one. And Marta and team and Melissa and team, they make sure that we stay fiscally responsible. They raise funds. They work with the admins on our plans and what we need to have funds for. The comm zone is in everything. This is a very busy zone. If you want to lose a few pounds, get in the comm zone because you're going to have all kind of things to put your hands on. Their feet never hit the ground. They create the graphics. If you want to learn some stuff and get hands on and upskill on how you digitally and become more digitally dexterous, get in the comm zone. Also, the next one is the program zone. You see this zone. So comm zone and tech zone work hand in hand. They're like Siamese twins. They're tied at the hip. Stay in touch with each other to know what's going on. The comm zone comes through all of the zones so they know what's going on because they touch everything. They have to put together social media content, the slides. As you can see, they're working all the buttons here for tonight. And they just keep us running. They keep us on tack. And if we can't communicate, it's hard for us to elevate. They are working with the tech zone on what's coming up. They're going to reach out. They plan things out. The tech zone is where you upskill. It's where you're going to learn you're going to develop in the PI SIG tools. It's where you're going to learn what's coming up with certification. So Mary and Destiny are here for the comm zone, and Dr. Charles Davis and Dr. Sha'La Fletcher are here for the tech zone. But I'm going to refer to the team. If there's anything that's happening in the background right now, you're going to probably get some notifications about the zones you're going to be going to here real shortly. It may put you in there and it may not. If it doesn't, just sit right here with us and we'll figure it out. We may even have to modify a little bit and use this room that we're in to go into our zone breakouts. But at a high level, those are the zones that operationalize the process improvement SIG. And we're ready to start moving into those.
So the admin team are going to do introductions, then they're going to talk about the admin zone of the board. They're going to talk about board management, strategic planning, board visioning and direction, and how they manage the action items that we run to run the group. So let me click. And so it's a lot of us in the room, so I'm just going to skip past this. And basically, this is the starter slide. So Korey told you Korey is the director, Antonia is the deputy second in command, and then we just brought Ron on to help as the admin coordinator. So basically, the skill sets that they're looking for people that would join their committee would be project management and collaboration and board management, strategic thinking, and then also presentation development. Because you see, this presentation kind of came together of trying to get people that can actually help in that vein. So I'm the executive advisor for that team. So me and Perry Walker, who y'all just heard from, he's one of the previous directors, director emeritus, and then that makes up the admin team of the board. So one of the tools that we use coming into the year was actually getting everybody to do their insight profile so we can understand the different personalities, the different working styles of people that were on the board. So you figure out how best to communicate with the team and try to take this into consideration when you're giving out assignments. So you can understand if somebody's more indirect versus direct, so you know that you may have to spend a little bit more personal time with them versus direct people will tell you what they need to tell you when they need to tell you. And then understanding, how precise someone is versus unstructured. I'm the unstructured person of the board, so I'm the outlier in the group. And then those that are steady around assignments versus those that are urgent, meaning if a task is given, they are on top of it to get it done and to get it off their plate, versus other people that are steady that you may have to send more follow-ups to get them going. And then when it comes to doing presentations like this, who's more outgoing versus who's more reserved, so that we use those tools to kind of better understand the makeup of the individuals that are on the team. And then a couple years ago, Dr. Klingscale, who's actually on this call, helped us to do a SWOT analysis. So we actually went through and identified overall strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities so we could actually use that information on trying to figure out how we're going to plan for the year. So that analysis is available and we could share it. And then basically we look at the vision that Korey talked about, that SWOT analysis we ended up doing to drill down to what goals we're going to have for the year and how the team is going to best execute to get those things done. And then using continuous improvement, so yearly strategic planning. So we're going to try to actually do a session in Jackson, Mississippi sometime next year to get the team together so we can actually talk about what different things we want to do and take the feedback that comes from the surveys and different things that we do to plan in there so that we can offer the different trainings we do, and then also try to see how we get other people involved. So all right, so I'm gonna transition from here and then go into, I think, the next set of slides on the other side, and then the action item management of how we use the different tools within Microsoft to manage different action items and label them by different, so we make sure that the work that we need to get done gets done. So that's why we have events like this. So if any other individuals want to sign on to help, when we can have a concerted effort to get work done and be able to give smaller parts to different people, it makes it easier to get the work done. So,
was that Tuesday.com?
What's that?
What was that, Tuesday.com?
No, this is actually the planner tool inside of Microsoft.
Oh, that's a virtual tool. Okay.
Yep. It's a virtual tool. Yep. So it's similar to Tuesday. So yeah.
Let's get started. Welcome and thank you for joining the PI SIG Reboot Finance Zone Breakout. The purpose of this breakout session is to do a very brief introduction to you of the Finance Zone for the Process Improvement SIG, and to introduce you to the opportunities where you may want to engage and assist us in doing the work that is very, very important. As I like to say, finance is where the money resides. I am Marta, Collier-Youngblood. I serve as the Process Improvement Finance Zone Coordinator. I work alongside with Melissa, who you see pictured here, and together we help to lead the direction of the SIG when it comes to the responsible management of the funding that supports the programming of the PI SIG. We like to refer to our superpowers as being budgeting, proposal development and grant writing, and report writing and compliance. If anyone is interested in contacting us about joining the zone after this presentation, I want you to note that you can email processfinancecord@nsbe.org. At the bottom of this slide is where you can see that. I'm going to now go briefly through what are some of the things that we actually do and where some of the needs are demonstrated within our particular zone in our special interest group. After I show you how we fit within the overall structure. So as I mentioned, Melissa and I work together. We have finance advisors who we seek guidance from. These are folks who have in some kind of way, shape, or form served in a finance role within NSBE. And then we also report to our deputy and director of the SIG. As you see listed, that is Korey Carter and Dr. Toni. Now, broad strokes, Finance Zone is responsible for budgeting, fundraising, stewardship, and reporting and compliance. With budgeting, we develop the budgets in collaboration with the admin zone, and we help them match the possible funding opportunity with the programs that the SIG wishes to move forward in a given year. We do lots of surveys and we ask the membership what it is that they're looking for when it comes to opportunities for integrating process improvement. But our responsibility is to make sure that we are helping everyone think about what's it going to cost and how are we going to pay for it. Fundraising, that is us going outside of NSBE, trying to bring resources into NSBE for doing the PI SIG programming. We do this in a number of ways. Sometimes it's through grants, sometimes it's through direct ask, but we're going to get into that a little bit more in just a moment. Stewardship is a little different from fundraising. Stewardship is, how do we set ourselves in a position to recruit people into funding us? So people or organizations, what is our strategy? How do we manage those relationships so that we are able to go ahead and do the ask? And then finally, reporting and compliance. This is a critically important area where we would really like to have some additional help. These are the people who like tracking things. They like measuring things. If you love Excel spreadsheets, that might be a warning sign that you are really good for this area. But essentially, when we're saying that we're going to do something to a funder, usually the funder wants us to go ahead and prove that we've done what it is that we say we're going to do. In fact, some of them want us to say how we're going to measure that process before they even approve the funding. And so it's important that we have people who that's their portion, as the young folks say nowadays, because it's a lot easier to go ahead and integrate that particular skill into the team when it's something that you either do for your job already or you're naturally inclined to enjoy doing it. There's some of us who do it, we might not enjoy it, jump up and down, skipping, but if you're good at it, we'd love to have you in here. If you're open to learning about it, we'd love to have you in here so we can show you the ropes. And then compliance, making sure that at all times we are doing everything we're supposed to do in accordance with our policies and procedures. Budgeting. Here I'm giving you a little quick snapshot into a sample. This isn't a real one, but a sample, what we call IOE. So we have to make sure we organize our ask for our budget periodically so that we can send it for review, and then we can get approvals prior to going ahead and encumbering funds. So there's some things that we use in our SIG, things like Canva for the design of the things that you see in these meetings that we do, in our social media, tiny URLs so that we don't have ugly links that are forever running. Adobe Creative Suite, we will put things on YouTube, like this meeting will be available to you to view on YouTube, and some of these things have cost. So we have to make sure whatever it is that we are saying we're going to need as tools or resources, supplies in the SIG, that we are pulling them together in the appropriate budget line. We're listing the quantity of them. We're listing how much it costs. We have these sheets already, so it's not like you have to create them on your own. And there are formulas that you need to make sure that they're working correctly so that they total appropriately. Finance Zone works with admin closely to make sure we're supporting and having this happen. And there's all kinds of deadlines that you have to be aware of and stuff like that too. So if this is something that speaks to your spirit, please let us know, because we'd love to have you come over and help us with this aspect of how we run the business of the PI SIG. Next up, fundraising. What I've given you here is a little snapshot of the table of contents of one of our premier documents inside of the PI SIG. This is our sponsorship packet. It has to be updated every year. It's a labor of love. The more hands you have, the easier it is to go ahead and do it. I can speak from experience on that one. But essentially, this is where we summarize how we're operating by the numbers with our membership. We remind people of the strategy that we are employing for the coming year. We do an overview of the mission of NSBE, and then specifically what it is that we do in our SIG. And then we break down into the areas that corporations or individuals may want to get behind us by giving us funding support. So we have a segment where we reach out when it comes to research and technology innovation, outreach and thought leadership. So think about all those STEM outreach opportunities that you see popping around all over the place. We actually have structured projects, at least structured to the point where we might be able to modify it a little bit to fit the interest of a funder. We already have that worked out in this packet. And so it's a tremendous resource. So you're not starting from ground zero when you're trying to talk to someone about supporting the SIG and its programming. Advocacy and talent access. So this is where we do a lot of the webinars and whatnot, whether they be hard technical skills or what some people like to call soft skills. I think they're the hardest things in the world because people are not easy. But this is how we phrase that out, and having sponsorship helps us to be able to amp up what we're able to deliver, whether it be virtual or whether it be in person. And in person, as I'm sure y'all know, has certain expenses that it's great to have a sponsor to help you support, offsetting the cost of that for participants. One example of that we've done before is we had a partnership with Danaher, and they helped to fund a green belt cycle. And so when we get those sponsors, it makes it easier for us to offer those kinds of trainings at a low, if no cost, to the ones who are participating. That can be very helpful when there are members who are working for employers who may not have the biggest professional development budgets. This is a way of helping make sure we can still get those members of NSBE access to this kind of professional development opportunity. And then membership engagement, which is what you're doing here, basically with us. This is where we get together, we throw ideas around, we get to know each other, we figure out how we can do a better job of being in community. And then technical advancement. We have other, I mentioned earlier, but Six Sigma, Yellow Belt, Green Belt, we do those kinds of things, ISO, Lean certification. We have all this stuff worked out. And Finance Zone has that wonderful privilege of making sure that that document stays up to date and that it is ready for people to go ahead and take and disseminate. We do lead in raising the funds, but everybody who is a member of NSBE is a potential fundraiser in what we do. Our job, we view it as equipping you to be able to do the job with excellence. And then at the bottom of the slide in the sponsorship packet, you'll see it's just a direction to our LinkedIn, which if you have not gone ahead and followed our LinkedIn, joined our LinkedIn community, you should definitely do that. It's how you'll be able to make sure that you don't miss announcements about things that are coming up. Next up, stewardship. I mentioned relationships. I am part fundraiser, part research development, part many other things, entrepreneur. But one of the buzzwords, one of our family words in the development fundraising world is stewardship. Relationships matter. One of the ways that we would like to strengthen our relationships within the membership is to make sure that folks understand if you work for an industry partner or corporation, it is not always easy to find the reference information for the corporate responsibility or the philanthropy portions of businesses. Not every business lists it very easily out on the internet. So if you know where it is on the internet or you know the contact person for your company, it's important that you share that information with us so that we are able to have that in a database. We can work with you to know when are the deadlines for submission, what kinds of documentation, what kind of reporting does your organization require for those who are awarded. We need you to help us make sure we have the best data for your company. And we ideally would like to work with you if that's the structure of how it works. But if we need to assign someone from the Finance Zone committees to take lead on that, that's okay as well. But we need you to help make sure we understand the protocol of how to approach your company. The other form of stewardship is helping us understand, for those of you who are college or university members within NSBE, that can be a professional who works at a college in a faculty or staff capacity, or an undergrad or graduate student who is termed collegiate. We need you to help us know who are the right people to partner with or have a conversation about partnering with your university. Again, that information is not always clear and easy to access when you are trying to hunt for it on the internet. So if you know it, if you know the key person, or you can help us narrow the search, it's greatly appreciated. oftentimes colleges and universities want to have some kind of a formal memorandum of understanding when they're doing things in partnership with another organization. And NSBE is situated to be able to help provide subject matter expertise for proposals that go to places like the National Science Foundation, if that would be helpful. But we need to know who are the right partners to work with, and we'd like to make sure we have those agreements in place before we're under crunch time and there's a deadline where they say, hey, we need this thing tomorrow. The next form of stewardship we're looking to recruit people to help us with is when it comes to NSBE chapter partners. The PI SIG, the professionals, the PI SIG is composed of actually professionals and collegiates in sometimes. And so, and some people may not realize that. So we're looking to make sure that one, all chapters, whatever their classification, are aware of the PI SIG programming and the PI SIG resources so that we can do a better job of relating to one another. What we do not want to have happen, and no organization wants this because it's termed as waste, we don't want duplication of effort. We'd rather partner than compete when it comes to offering these resources of process improvement to the NSBE membership body. And so we know that we need to make a good faith effort to have people who are helping make sure we keep those lines of communications open. So if that's something that speaks to you, if you'd like to see stronger collaboration between the various chapters, maybe even a way of bringing some of the at-large members into chapter-related activities, this is the section I want you to raise your hand and let me know that you'd like to be a part of that. We definitely like to get that committee up and running. And then the final one is kind of a reach, but we are terming this as city or municipal partners. So there are some cities where, for example, there might be a youth employment or youth activities project that is being run in the summertime when students are out of school. We'd like to know if your city has something like that, because there may be an opportunity for NSBE to partner. There may be some NSBE members who can offer to host students who are being paid through a grant that is run through the city to come and get some experiences at learning how to strengthen those STEM-enabled skills and those workplace skills so that they can be better prepared to go into the workforce when they get out of school. So these are the 4 areas of stewardship that we're focusing on moving forward in the coming year. And then finally, just as a reminder, the reporting and compliance is very important. If you're a person who does this in your work, if you're a program evaluator, if you are a post-award specialist, if you are a person who just enjoys numbers and charts and tables and things, oh my, this is you. This is definitely a place where you would be greatly appreciated. People who like doing the metrics, the numbers, the dashboarding, all of that stuff. If any of these things sound interesting to you, this is where I want you to go ahead and let me know you're interested in this, because we have quite a lot of opportunities for looking through our data. We generate a lot of data in our programming and whatnot. And so we invite you to come in and find a place where you fit in. You're not restricted to only participating in one zone, nor are you restricted to only participating in one zone activity. You let us know how you want to fit in, and we're going to figure out how to make it work. So I thank you all for tuning into this. And I, again, will take you back a couple of slides so you can look at that email address one more time. That is processfinancecord@nsbe.org. That gets you straight to me, and I will help you figure out how to go ahead and get in on this conversation. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you.
Let's get started.
So, good evening, and thank you all for joining the Membership Reboot event, and also for your interest in joining the Comm Zone. So the Communication Zone, we provide a lot of administrative support, as Toni mentioned. We also create and manage all of the comms and engagement that you see. So the social media content, the presentation deck that you are viewing now, as well as the newsletter. And we also prepare the content and we facilitate all of the programming. We also are supported by the social media chair. We have comms. We have a comms and graphics coordinator, and we have an extended ad hoc committee who may just engage as needed. Some of the key skills for the communication zone is definitely time management and also a willingness to be flexible. A lot of times we actually like to maybe do a run of show before events, or we may need to have a tag up to ensure that we are prepared for events, and that flexibility really helps out. Also, accountability. If you look at this event alone, you may have seen a lot of people engage in the event differently. I personally could not have facilitated this event alone. So it definitely helps to have a team that's accountable and willing to complete their tasks so that we can hold great events. And the attention to detail is very key. Creativity, again, when it comes to creating the deck or making social media posts, creating graphics, the creativity helps, and the willingness to maybe research and learn and apply branding and marketing techniques to help us expand our reach. And then the technical aptitude. Unfortunately, I think we all had an experience with the breakout rooms here. So that's what we mean with the technical aptitude, for us to all continue to learn. And even once we master the tool today, will continue to evolve, and we'll need to be prepared to engage in those. Before I continue, I would like to take a moment to have some of our core leads also do a brief introduction of themselves. Here, Tiffany.
Hey, Mary, thank you. So I'm sorry, hold on, let me come on camera.
I can hear you.
Apologize.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Tiffany Borden. I am the PI SIG Comms Coordinator. I also serve as the Region 3 Professionals Chair-elect. So yes, comms is busy all the time. And we kind of have our hands in anything, in really everything. Is that all you needed for the introduction?
Yes, that's
okay,
all.
good
Thank you. No. All right. So next, what I would like to do is just kind of review and give you a better understanding of what it means to actually fulfill some of these tasks within the organization. And if we have time at the end, you can definitely ask questions. My email address is here, processcom@nsbe.org. So you can always reach out. Also, during the when you complete the survey at the end of this event, you will have an opportunity to specify your interest in a particular zone. So I will capture your information there. Next, I want you to see, so I've highlighted the communication zone. As you can see, we are a big, we represent a large portion of the board. So from an administrative support, one, when it comes to board meetings, we actually help with the tech support, capturing action items, as well as we also present on the outcome of, we report out from the communication zone, but we also need to be engaged to maybe help the board as needed as it relates to communications. Also, we maintain the contact and documentation within the organization. So you can imagine that could be a lot. We want to maintain the presentations that we present, as well as some of the video recordings, and we manage the technology and access support for the entire board. And then you have general leadership tasks. So that may include just your soft leadership skills, and also just being a voice and contributing to resolve problems or to generate ideas. Next, we have programming support. So we have an event upcoming. Our next event is going to be STEM Innovators. So within the communication zone, you would actually create this flyer. So someone on our committee created this. They also created or collaborated with the technical zone to create the language that explained the event. Other activities we would do is we would determine which platform we would want to present the session on, as well as actually facilitate that. And as we're facilitating, that includes scheduling a run of show, actually preparing the presentation deck, following up with the board as needed to ensure that it's completed. We would also promote the event on our social media channels, which include LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We also have a MailChimp service for the PI SIG specifically, but we also strive to advertise in the general NSBE publication as well as the PEB newsletter. And so we reach out to the other communication channels within the organization to promote our events. Also, you may have an event time. We like to join like 30 minutes early to ensure that everyone can be seen and heard. When it comes to, so these are the type of events that we've had. So typically there will be someone within the team that may take the lead on leading that particular event, or someone may just have the task of creating the presentations. But even with the deck that we have today, you can see that it's definitely very professionally done, very organized, and we have a consistent format throughout the deck, but someone on the committee creates that. Also, with the membership spotlights, for the most part, we typically just support the technical zone, so we may not have a speaking role, but we also manage the Q&A. So when people are asking questions, we're striving to provide a response. We're preparing the polls and also remarks and prompts during any of the events. With the membership events, like today, we are heavily involved. As you can see, I have a speaking role and we've had some breakouts. So definitely we would need the communications support from a technical side. So even when there are workshops, for example, like the soft skills or the culture engagement, even if we may not have a specific speaking role, we definitely promote those events for the zones, as well as ensure that they have tech support from driving the slides and making sure that everyone has access to it. When we have in-person workshops, the communications team may also collaborate with the NSBE Convention Planning Committee or the PDC committee to ensure that our workshops are, one, submitted for consideration to be presented, and then managing that communication to ensure that our events actually appear on the agenda and in the publications. Branding and marketing. As I mentioned, we have 3 social media channels and we have a newsletter. From a LinkedIn group perspective, we definitely want all of the board members to be engaged in the group, to like the comments and to engage with our members. And also visit the page frequently enough such that they can actually share the events with their networks. From a newsletter standpoint, as a committee, we will determine what topics we would like to include in the newsletter. We would collaborate with the rest of the board as well to get their input. But then, as you can see this graphic here, someone on the communications committee would actually, within the communication zone, would actually create the graphics that you see. There's also sometimes we have had videos that were posted on social media. This group makes that available as well. We also strive to capture the metrics. Ideally, we want to continue to maybe learn what is working for us, and then where there are opportunities to improve our reach, use our creativity to increase the impressions, as well as continue to leverage our network to grow our channels. So within Facebook, similar setup with LinkedIn, we look for people to share the content that's published there, but this committee is responsible for basically the face of the PI SIG that you see. I just want to pause before I go into Q&A. I just wanted to see, Tiffany, if there's anything else you'd like to maybe add to help people kind of get an idea of what they would actually do in the comm zone.
Hey, yeah, and I think we're approaching about 30 seconds left in our session, but to that note about creativity, with the comm zone, of course, we know a lot of people use AI But we do create a lot of the verbiage and things that you see. If you're interested in participating by doing something such as writing an article or sharing articles related to process improvement, those are things that we have historically added to our newsletter, or those are things that we can kind of bring to as topics to the group. So just wanted to share that.
0, 1. Let's get started.
So this is the tech zone. And what we like to do is ensure kind of the development of application, continuous improvement, especially using the different talent that we have aboard our actual organization, the tools that we can use, and all the expertise. Led by myself, along with Sha'La and Chris. What we try to do is we try to look at focusing on things like change management, continuous improvement, data analytics, process improvement management, project management, and quality management systems. Like any organization or company, we tend to have, like our special powers or superpowers. And what I like to do is kind of think of us as, again, those subject matter experts being kind of one of those superpowers. The other thing that I think we specialize in and that we do a great job at is provide the technical training and workshops, and then being able to facilitate them. I am actually got Sabina, who is going to be supporting us. She and Ron are actually putting together presentation for the Black History Month. So Sabina, if you'd like to just kind of share a little bit about the meeting that we had and kind of tell us about your superpowers and how you're going to be supporting that effort.
Yeah, I could try. So hi everyone, my name is Sabina. I'm an industrial engineer from the University of Florida. And also, heads up, if anyone is looking forward to helping out or anything like that with the STEM Innovators event in February, or the Women History Month in March events, I'm happy to please just send out a quick chat message, or feel free to message someone from NSBE, and we'll definitely keep in touch. I'm just excited to kind of be able to showcase and highlight, individuals in our history and even present and current members who are, out there doing great stuff, not just in engineering, but in STEM fields in general. And just oftentimes, maybe we sometimes forget or just focus on the very, very, very famous people, but there's a lot of people doing a lot of big, impactful things for us. So just being able to showcase that and kind of share it with everyone, and just having people resonate on it, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Thank you, Sabina. The other superpower, as you can see here, is that kind of internal NSBE project team management. I know Sha'La has come on board and she's been amazing supporting the efforts of the tech team. Sha'La, would you just kind of like to share kind of like your experience over the last couple of months and what you've seen in terms of the tech team?
Sure. So it's never a dull moment. Let's say that we stay very busy over here. Kind of what they said. Previously, we work hand in hand with the comm zone. So a lot of the execution as it relates to the programming that maybe the admin zone comes up with, in the finance zone finances, we are the executors of that, of said program. So when it comes down to trying to come up with what the program looks like, for example, our yellow belt, green belt certifications, we're headstrong in making sure that we have the facilitators, the room, anything that has to do with the operation side. So lots to do. We love having volunteers. But yeah, never a dull moment. I'm a executor myself. I like to get stuff done. Like I get high off of checking something off of my list, and this is the place to do it. So
thank you, Sha'La. Well put. So you may have seen this slide on the screen earlier in the actual event, and you can kind of see from here, I like to call it the Brady Bunch kind of screen, where we're all kind of like one big happy family, some of us from different parts of the country. But then, we all get together and we know how to make things happen, as Sha'La mentioned. With the different zones, both the tech, the comms team, the finance team, and then the admin team, you literally can see when we get into meetings, we're all about basically making sure that we're all about the same, goals in terms of meeting those for the members of NSBE. So here's our expectations, okay? And this is not all inclusive, but I wanted to kind of put it out here in terms of, sorry about that, various different things that we look for. So what we'd like to do is, again, define effective goals, set behavioral expectations, guide actions and practices. And again, all this is centered around basically, as Sha'La was mentioning to you, the workshops, the different trainings and whatnot that we do. Also look at critical things that we can do in terms of supporting and or improving on either the training that we're doing. As you guys can see just from tonight, basically, technical difficulty, right? We all know it. We're, all over the country, but we're trying to all meet with one another, on Teams and just trying to make sure we deliver, a presentation to you guys in an event. So just being able to kind of work through those things. Also looking at committee leads in terms of updating on committee status in terms of our goals and expectations. Also looking at member actions and practices in terms of with our committee, looking at critical moments and informing and training our committee members. So a lot of times what will happen is that for someone, either one who have never done a lot of public speaking or someone who is trying to put together an actual presentation, for all us here who have actually done those particular presentations or those workshops, we're making sure that we support and those individuals that are actually going to be doing that. And so I'll kind of keep going for the sake of time, just to make sure that we don't run out of time. Our goals here is to work on the development of technical programmatic content for the PI SIG membership. And that's consisting of webinars, workshops, certification trainings. You've kind of heard them talk about, yellow belt, green belt. And even with some of our just, soft skills type training, we still give out basically professional development, hours and whatnot for folk that may not need that for some of their certifications that they have. So those are the things that we offer as well. The other thing that we look at is PMP, Lean Six Sigma, Big Data Analytics certification. And as you can see, what we did was we kind of polled members to kind of see which ones kind of rose to the top. And PMP basically got a lot of the votes, in terms of, what they would like to see as being provided. Big Data Analytics, again, another one of those popular ones. And then Lean certification. And that Lean certification could be yellow belt, green belt. We've even had some people come back and say, hey, can you guys just do like a white belt training? And we know that's kind of like the beginning of all the different belts, but, we're able to provide that training if someone wants to ask for that. And then the other certifications, licensure, that's one that's near and dear to me because, again, I like to see more of our students coming out of school, at least getting their EIT or their FE exam completed so that at some point they can set for their PE license. And then the last one being the Certified Scrum Master. Stop me at any time if you guys have any questions, please. Yes, Nicholas.
We have a question.
Yes, I wanted to share. Thank you so far for the presentation. I'm definitely looking forward to more. And I'm definitely interested in learning more about the tech teams. And I wanted to know, as the presentation progressed, if there was any opportunities for broadening experiences in tech development, the administration of those IT servers or services, as well as data security.
Without a doubt, definitely, Nicholas. We would welcome that with open arms. So any talent that you can bring to the tech team, we would definitely look forward to working with you and having you share your talent. But thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
As far as the tech team, we like to see ourselves as a winning team. I think anyone that, is providing a service or whatnot to members for an organization, you want to make sure you're bringing in positive information to those teams. So as I mentioned here, our initiatives, we look at things like, our certifications, our workshops. You heard earlier, Brian, kind of speaking about soft skill workshops. I was literally just talking about that with my students today in class, because as managers, sometimes you don't get that soft skill training. I always say that you need to have been born with it. It's not like you have to teach someone about soft skills, but sometimes you have to remind them that soft skills can go a long ways. The other thing that we look at too is identifying and securing partnerships. And this is where we work closely with our finance team and our admin team, ASQ and SWE and other organizations, because what we want to do is broaden our family, especially where we could have talents from other organizations to kind of support us in our efforts, and we can support them as well. So this is kind of our tech team project list. So when Nicholas, when you were asking about various different things that can be done that we can add to, say, the tech team, as you can see here, we're busy. So, we do stuff at PDC, the Professional Development Conference. If the National Leadership Institute have an event that takes place during the year, we support that as well. We work with the various different FRC regions throughout the year, towards the end of the year when they actually have those. At NSBE Go, we actually or we'll be actually doing a couple of things there. And then below that basically is where we get more into those kind of internal things that we see that supports the actual tech team. So that one that you were referring to as IT, that would fall into one of those buckets where we would definitely want to see you, if you can support us with that type of talent, and if you could bring anyone along with you that may be willing or supporting you to kind of help with that as well. And then you can kind of see from below, especially on the admin side, looking at our databases, past and present surveys, because we always want to know what our feedback is, right? How well are we doing? Are we doing good, bad, or indifferent? How can we improve on it? Hence the improvement. But those things we also are looking at as well. So what I'll do is you guys will have a copy of this presentation so you can kind of see some of the areas where it says need team members willing to work. Those are things or gaps that we feel like we might need support or help with. This is our 24-25 schedule. Again, the stuff in blue are things that have happened as of last December. We're in the membership engagement one right now. We have the Black History Month coming up.
We will have all the slides available for everyone, but hopefully you were able to get a little bit of information during the time you were in the breakout session. I will take this time to recognize Jarrell Johnson. Jarrell is our NSBE Professionals Chair-elect, who will be going into the chair role. So we're happy to have Jarrell with us today. Jarrell, would you please join us and share some words?
Korey, I do not see Jarrell on, but we do have another honored guest in this room that we probably could hand the floor over to. So Taylor Scott, our National NEB Chair, would you do us a courtesy and just share a few words around your experience today and, being involved with us with the training and different things that you've been through as a leader of our great organization here?
Of course. Thank you so much for giving me the floor. So the process improvement SIG has always kind of been near and dear to my heart, just especially because one of our advisors, Perry Walker, always talks so highly of the SIG. And so especially when I took on this role, I currently work at P&G as a process engineer. When I took on that role, it became even more pertinent for me to understand like all the intricacies of process improvement. And so I even appreciate, the FRC yellow belt training. I participated in that. And so I'm really ecstatic to see that not only are you making sure that professional members have this expertise and this knowledge, but you're also reaching and extending the olive branch to collegiate members as well? You know, I see a lot of people that are in collegiate chapters like VSU and KSU. So I'm really happy to see this work, and I'm really excited for the other 10 of 25 events you have left planned.
Thank you. Thank you,
Awesome.
Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor. We really appreciate you tonight.
Thank you. Now we will turn it over to Sabina.
Yes, hi. I think you guys could hear me. Hey, hello everyone. My name is Sabina Penula. I'm a UF alum and an industrial engineer. So I'm excited to announce the winners for the giveaway today. 2 quick reminders. You do have to be in attendance when your name is called, so we can later contact you with regards to your prize. And then also, if you would like, feel free to turn on your videos when your name is called, just for a quick spotlight moment. We do have a quick quote from Korey. On behalf of the current PI SIG board, we are thankful for your continued participation in our programming. So this raffle is just a small token of our appreciation, and we look forward to your ongoing support. And so we'll go ahead and start off the raffles. So the first raffle will be for a $25 Amazon gift card donated by the administrative zone. Oh, okay, that was a really close one. Congratulations. I don't want to mispronounce the name, but congratulations. Please take note. And then the next person, it'll be another $25 Amazon gift card from our finance zone, donated by our finance zone. And that will be Amanda. I think in the background we'll have the last names, so we'll know which Amanda this belongs to. And the next raffle will be another $25 Amazon gift card donated by the communication zone. So congratulations, Victor. And our last and final $25 Amazon gift card has been donated by the tech zone. Great, so congratulations, Jenny. Congratulations to the 4 winners. And again, thank you so much for the finance zone, tech zone, admin zone, and communication zone for donating all these prizes. The winners, please be on the lookout in your emails in the next few days for more information on how to claim your gift card prize. And now I'll pass it on to Tiffany for more announcements.
Thank you, Sabina. So my name is Tiffany Borden, and I serve as the Process Improvement SIG Comms Coordinator. I'm an engineer for Alabama Power here in Alabama, so glad it did not snow tonight, but I will more than likely be out in the freezing cold on tomorrow. But we'll move into some SIG announcements. Next slide. So some of our PI SIG upcoming events include a few online webinars. So as many of you may have heard mention of in some of the breakout sessions for Black History Month, we do have our STEM Innovators event. The theme is going to be African Americans in Labor, and that event will be held on February the 20th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on LinkedIn Live. For the month of March, we will be celebrating Women's History Month. That will again be another virtual webinar series on March the 27th, also at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on LinkedIn Live. You'll see some later Eastern times because we do want to make sure that we're recognizing that NSBE is a national, really an international organization. Following that, we'll have planned for April and into May a couple of soft skills webinars. The first would be Mapping Your Career with SIPOC in April, and then Powering Effective Partnerships, which is Building and Sustaining STEM Outreach Programs in May. And then, just like you're here today for our reboot event at the beginning of the year, at the end of our NSBE year, we will have our PI SIG year-end event, which is another membership engagement event held on May the 8th on Microsoft Teams. Next slide. So to highlight a few of the events the PI SIG has at NSBE Gold, and these are in-person events that you all can register for and attend. We will have our Six Sigma Yellow Belt training. That is going to be held on Wednesday, March the 5th. So that is the first full day of convention. Cost to register for that is going to be $150. Our PI SIG business meeting. So of course here we're engaging the membership. We'll give a little bit more of the business detail at our business meeting, and that'll be held on Thursday, March the 6th. Again, all these times here are Central Time since we'll be in Chicago. There'll also be the workshop Who Moved My Cheese for Kids, facilitated by Christopher Sanderson and Dr. Toni, who's here on the call today. And then we'll conclude NSBE Gold with our special interest group mixer. That'll be an opportunity for you to mix and mingle with all of the special interest groups. But of course, we are a little bit more partial to the process improvement SIG. So again, that concludes all of our NSBE Gold events. Thank you. And I'll turn it back over to Korey and Dr. Toni.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Process Improvement SIG, we thank you for joining us for our membership engagement event, focus on Reboot. We hope you were able to get some valuable information about what's going on with the SIG, as well as process improvement, problem solving, and the different functional zones. We apologize for how the breakout rooms worked out, but we do have all of the slides that will be made available. If you want to get in contact with us, we do have our social media that we'll share a couple more times. So it'll be in the chat as well as on one of our slides. We're not going to let you go so quickly, so please don't jump off. We want to take a photo. So if you go to the next slide, you will see that we would like to take a group photo. This is the time when we ask for everyone to put your camera on, take your do-rags off, put your smile on. Take the bonnet off. Hopefully we could see you for a moment. We would love to see your beautiful faces and catch a photo. So we ask for everyone to come on camera. We'll do a couple of countdowns, so hopefully we get your best side.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, smiles, everyone. I got you.
Awesome.
All right. No problem.
I almost coughed mid-smile, so I was able to get my best smile on there. Kudos, everyone. Thank you for coming on camera so that we could see your beautiful faces and catch a photo. So now that we've taken a photo, it's time to announce which region gets the bragging rights. And I think it was really close because I saw those numbers go up and down and I saw them jump. And I think it was a photo finish just before the meeting start time. So without further ado, can we go to the next slide and have a drum roll, please? The PI SIG winner is Region 3. You get national bragging rights for, you can see the data below for the final registration data. 23 registrants with Region 4 coming in a close second, or not that close, but close second. Congratulations to Region 3. We appreciate all the support, and we're happy to have you here supporting the Process Improvement SIG. So you get bragging rights. We want to take a moment to process. We're going to stop here because we really need your feedback. We always take the feedback and we actively put it into how we conduct our programming, what type of events we have, what we propose and submit for all the different conferences that we attend, and what type of content we put on virtually. Please take your phones and scan the QR code so we could get your survey feedback. There's also a link in the chat for completing the survey. Please do not leave without completing the survey. We're going to sit here for a moment because we know if you leave, you won't do it later. We would like for you to do it now. The survey should only take a few moments. Scan the QR code, or you could type in https:// forms.office.com/ RWSD. Don't take my word for it. It's on the screen.
And
Easiest
Korey,
way is to scan the QR code or click on the chat.
and Korey, reminder for all the leaders of the PI SIG, that includes you too. Fill out the
Yes.
survey.
Please fill out the survey. We need your information. You know, people like to leave and not fill out the survey, so please complete the survey. We value your feedback, but we also use the feedback and incorporate it into our programming. That's how we get to the events that we're doing this year. That's how we get to the workshops that we put on, the certifications that we offer. Those things help us present and move forward as and I'll be biased here, but I'll say it, the best SIG out there. You know, there are 12 SIGs, and you know, process improvement, we're going to say we're the best. I'm sure there's some other people on here that are biased towards the process improvement SIG. I will be that biased person too. So that's how we stay the best, by taking the feedback and constantly improving. Thank you. Thank you all for joining, for being engaged, whether you were engaged in the chat, in the breakout sessions, on camera, off camera, photo. We really appreciate you attending. We thank you for being engaged. There are multiple ways that you can get involved with the SIG and contact the SIG. We have a Facebook group, as you can see it here, NSBE Process SIG, Instagram, NSBE Process, LinkedIn, and I'm gonna do another shout out for LinkedIn, NSBE_process_improvement_SIG. If you go onto the LinkedIn page, you get some treats because it has the recordings for all of our past events. A lot of our past events are on the LinkedIn page. So we encourage you to follow our LinkedIn page. In addition to seeing the links there, the links are also in the chat to go on and follow us. Follow us, you get the latest information on what's going on with the SIG, upcoming events, and key things like our membership spotlight that we did with one of our founders of NSBE, and that was a treat. So we really hope you follow us and stay up to date on all the events that we have going on. We appreciate you joining us and attending tonight. And at this time, we will close out this membership engagement event. Thank you again. Have a good night.
And board members, please stay on. That can stay on. Mary, I know you got to go.
Good job, team. Keep that quality content, baby.
Thanks, Kwame. Thank you for joining. Good to see you, brother.
Oh, that's real good.
Right now, like I said, it may be slowly but surely coming in.
Okay. Hi, Devon.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, stranger.
Hey.
I haven't chatted with you in a while, Devon.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm back at it, hopefully this year.
Okay, good. We'll be glad to have you.
Yeah, good to be back.
Fire.
Good to see you, Kwame.
Bless up. Sending some fire over with the bride who moved away from the one, but we still love you, baby. It's all right. Fire.
Appreciate the support.
And Korey, while we are getting set up for this, I have got to mention that Virginia State University is in the house tonight. They have been consistently coming to process PI SIG activities, and I'm seeing the fruit of their labor. They're passing the they love us. They love the SIG. They love NSBE, and I have worked with them for years now. We've not met everyone in person, but I just wanted to that I appreciate what they're doing, and they pipeline of PI SIGers up there.
Big shout out to VSU. Thank you for your continued support.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, because I think y'all had about 6 people registered today, and just y'all were trying to take that them bragging rights. So we'll see how that ends up too, because Korey got that coming up next. But I'm gonna go ahead. Everybody get your smiles on. We're gonna go ahead.
Y'all got two balloons on here too. No, Toni don't get away with that. Two balloons on here right now too. Thank you.
All right, so let me get this set up. Sha'La, you good? Oh, where is my?
Oh, that's real good.